Can you just kind of start by going over maybe the timeline, the ebbs and flows of Doppsee's health since that medical scare back in late July?
Yeah, so about a month ago, Doppsee did have a medical scare where she seemed to be in a lot of pain. She was presenting with a lot of laying down and just awkwardness that the keepers noticed, seeming that she wasn't comfortable. So we started looking into possible problems, possible solutions at that point. Over the course of the next month, we anesthetized her multiple times, oftentimes with help from the Michigan State University vet team, along with our vet staff here at Powder Park Zoo. And they did find a blockage in her stomach, an obstruction that was most likely causing the pain, and we set about treating that throughout the course of the month. She had many good days and many bad days, and it was a very roller coaster month for the animal care staff and the vet staff here at the zoo. A lot of days filled with a lot of hope, and a lot of days that were very hard for us. So at the end of the day, it obviously wasn't the outcome that we wanted, but it wasn't for lack of trying, and it wasn't for the care that we gave her while she was here.
And Doppsee species, I understand, is endangered. Can you talk a little bit maybe about Doppsee specific species?
Yeah, so Doppsee is a black rhino, and in the wild there is the numbers vary, but there's around 5,000 or so black rhinos in the wild. Might be up to 6. It depends a lot on poaching. And her species is from Africa. So in Africa, there's two species. There's white rhinos and black rhinos. White rhinos, there's a lot more. There's around 17,000 or so. And black rhinos, much less. So she's much more endangered. In zoos in the U.S., there's, I believe, less than 60 black rhinos in AZ accredited zoos throughout the United States. So she was very valuable, or every rhino is very valuable to the population as a whole.
If a zoo gets a black rhino, is there any hope for reintegrating them into the wild, or is that are they just do they just kind of stay here? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so in zoos in the U.S., for the most part, what we do is we breed for genetics of the zoo population to make sure that our zoo population is a healthy population. We don't have too much inbreeding or negative effects of their genetics. So we get recommendations from what's called the SSP group that oversees the rhino breeding through the AZA, and they will say that your rhino is valuable, genetically valuable. You should breed it with this rhino to hopefully expand the genetic pool and making our group healthier and healthier, so that there will be rhinos in zoos and potentially have rhinos that one day may need to be reintroduced to the wild.
What happens when an animal such as Doppsee passes away? Is there maybe a ceremony held or a funeral or anything like that? Or, yeah, I guess I'm just curious, what happens at a zoo?
Well, for the animals here at the zoo, we work closely with our vet staff works closely with Michigan State University, so that we can do things like a necropsy to figure out what went wrong, what the cause of death was, or what we can do better, or help other animals in the zoos and in the wild. So there's a lot of science that goes on. As far as the grieving process, it looks different for every animal, right? And it's different for every zookeeper and every animal care team. So it's hard to say. We don't have any cookie cutter approach to it. But an animal with the magnitude of Doppsee and the impact that she had on the community, there's a much bigger outreach from the community. There's a much longer and larger mourning process, I would say, for something of this magnitude.
Gotcha. And Potter Park Zoo just, I believe it was within the last week, lost the red panda cub, and I know red pandas have a high infant mortality. So there is that. What's that like, losing two animals within such a short amount of time?
Yeah, it's devastating for the animal care staff and for the zoo as a whole. Like it has been reported, the red panda infant mortality rate is quite high. Here at our zoo, we have not had very many red panda cubs not make it and not grow and not thrive. So this is a new one for us. Our biggest question is always what happened, and is it something we can avoid in the future? And many times it isn't, but sometimes there's things that we can do to help. So we just want to learn from it and keep going forward and grow and continue to do the great job that we do with red pandas. But this one in particular hurts a lot too, coming back to back with Doppsee.